cannot hear now is rolling. Cannot hear. So what's that? That's playing. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so come on back and go see immediately. So, what you want to do in real time what's going on. And that's going into the that's right. Okay,
It's time for the wake-up call, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yo, it's time. He's on the line. This is knowledge and power for every mankind. Every generation that's in these streets. We making sure you ain't walking in your sleep or in your time. It's in your community. You want good health, wealth, and unity. We educating everybody, y'all. Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. This for y'all. This for y'all. Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. This for y'all. This for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. All right, live and living color, we're back on the line. Hold somebody to wake up call.
GPR Broadcasting Radio and it's Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you're listening to on WGPR HD2. Horace Sheffield, and you're listening to The Wake Up Call on WGPR HD2. It's The Wake Up Call.
All right, I got too excited. I got to go on too early. Y'all make some noise for me. I know that not only did Jesus prove that you can't keep a good man down, and I don't like the sound. Told me to get my sound fixed up, but also Reverend Sheffield and our team over here, we also prove you can't keep good people down. Make some more noise. We're going to come out of there. We got some Aretha tickets we're going to be giving away today. We'll have more of those for every one of our broadcast shows. This is now the wake-up call. We rebranded ourselves. We refashioned ourselves. We resurrected ourselves. We got up from wherever. And we got breakfast bits and salmon croquettes. And it's interesting because last night, hey man, I'm on the air. Excuse me. It's come full circle. We got Dodie Johnson. Dodie is the one facilitating all this stuff. Good morning, Dodie. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Is Dave calling? Is he on there with us or no? I don't know. But anyway, I was with Troy and Jordan last night in the church. And Troy was the one that originally got me on WGPR now probably 25 years ago. Yeah, so tell us about your station and how they can find this new broadcast. We're going to be doing far more with simulcasting with WHBR and all that. So you tell us all about that.
Well, you're back home for one thing. So you're on the legendary WGPR. You're on the HD2 platform, and we've got a kind of a unique partnership with WHBR. So WHBR is utilizing WGPR's HD2 platform. And so that's the platform that you're on now. They're going to be able to find you on Roku. They're going to be able to find you on...
Find us.
Find us.
Find us. So we got a whole team of cast of characters.
On Apple, Roku. We're going to be on several of the platforms. We're going to be on Facebook, YouTube. This is our first week, so
Yeah, we get the bugs out. So if you hear me chewing some heads off and making
they are rocking.
I'm just trying to get it right. One of the things that people need to know is that we're going to reach 100 times more folks with this than we have before, and we're going to be on multiple platforms. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Radio, TV at the same time, creating our own YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot to let people know where we are, and we just put some value in this. We got a great team. I got to salute my folks. Stephanie Bennett, who's my executive assistant. Hello, Stephanie. She's been working very hard. Of course, Gerald Smith is the producer, and of course,
Tony over here, who I get on every now and then.
You're on YouTube Live.
And we're on YouTube Live right now. There you go. What are they going to find on YouTube Live?
WVTC.
WVTC. And so we're on like 5 or 6 different platforms. And we got the sheriff in the house. He's going to arrest anybody to get in my way. Hello, somebody. And I got my own little sub-theme of my new broadcast, which is called Wake Up Call. And that is, we're back on the real black. I said it. We're back on the real black. I heard a lot of folk out there claiming to be black radio. They ain't black radio. This is black radio. And I have a history with WGCRAP. Let's go back to Dr. Banks when he was trying to get TV 62, and there was a need for a treaty to allow the tower to be in Canada. My dad was involved in that. And, I remember Dr. Banks when he owned the David Rogers Tower. They had some money, they had some things going, so it's a great historic black organization. So tell us more about what's happening there. By the way, let me say good morning to Ed.
Good morning.
And if you can turn us up just a little bit, we appreciate it. I like to hear myself. Go ahead, Ed. Say good morning again.
Well, I'll say it again. We on many platforms, so good morning to everybody.
There you go.
You know,
Ed's gonna bring some Cuban cigars. If you watch him on Instagram, he's always sitting somewhere puffing one of them stogies. But tell us all about the platform, though.
So, as you said before, you're going to be able to reach a lot more people. And the beauty of this is that when it's on Roku and some of the other digital platforms, you're able to, it's not just a one-shot, one trick pony. You're going to be able to go back and see old shows. You're going to be able to pull those shows up. You're going to be able to, people like to debate what they think they heard, what they thought they saw. And so they'll be able to go back and refresh and do those kinds of things. And it's just going to.
I'll be able to verify what I didn't say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, how you do it when you say it.
There you go. So one of the things I'm excited about is we have a lot of young people we've been working with and a lot of other folks, because I see my brother back here who produces movies, Rover, is that we're going to have segments because we're on radio and TV now at the same time. I hope to have folks who will be contributing segments to our show so that we can maybe Grover does a piece on, he's been highlighting what's happening in the courts. I call it killed in the courts. We used to hang the trees, but now we're killed in the courts. We also need to do something, I think, when you think about that tragedy of that little 2-year-old girl and the violence that we visit upon ourselves. I keep telling Reverend Sharp, who I see and talk to all the time, that what we miss in our rhetoric is we get all angry and whipped up about what white folks do to us. We got to do more about what we do to ourselves.
Right.
People do not respect you if you don't respect yourself. And that is one of the things that our non-African American and our non-brown and black brothers and sisters see with us. And that's a question that I'm asked a lot of times when I go in and I sit in different rooms and we're discussing different things. And, we're just talking about the community at large and the advantages and the benefits and so on and so forth.
We'll just wait for us. We bring the sheriff up here. We got the sheriff. The sheriff.
Get up and give them my seat.
You got to do that. The sheriff is donning his Q-side 5 hat. He recently crossed it. You can tell he's a Q-man now. And we'll have more information about my status in a little while. I can't really talk about it. How y'all doing out there? Y'all glad to be back? Did y'all miss us? Biscuits, grits, and salmon croquettes every single Saturday, 8 to 10. We'll have a lot of great things. We're getting some new gear. We got to get rid of that other gear. But we have a lot of good stuff. We're going to have some hats. We're going to have some hoodies. We're going to have some T-shirts. We'll give all that away. But welcome, Sheriff Raphael Ray Washington.
Yes, sir.
I shot the sheriff. And with my deputy. I don't know, they should have shot the deputy. The deputy shouldn't allow him to shoot the sheriff.
How about that?
How's it going, brother?
Everything's well, Reverend. It's good to be here always, to see you and see the people and see this great practice that you put on. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get any
They had got to make another place, in District 12.
Well, let me tell you something. If you ate twice, you still would not have to worry about your weight.
I'm trying to keep it down. But what's on my mind is that tragedy with that 2-year-old. That's just, and I really have not even been able to sleep a lot. Seeing that on the news often.
Yeah.
And it's just a tragic situation. And as you said, we're out here harming ourselves. We rise up when something happens, when the other, the Caucasian community does something that we think is wrong, we should rise up.
Yeah.
We got to rise up on this black on black. I'm
gonna say something that people may not like. One of the tragedies of this tragedy is who she was dealing with.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if the news media and average folks can uncover what this guy had done, and some of which was sexual abuse,
Right.
why are you even dealing with a Negro like that with a 2-year-old child?
That's what my wife. That's what upsets her so much.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they call that in law, right?
What's that?
Contributory negligence.
Yeah.
Now he did the act, but you invited him in.
Yeah.
You knew when you let him in, like you know, you heard the story about the rabbit that let the snake in. You heard the story. So you knew when you let him in, it was a snake.
Yeah, and there's professionals who can speak to that much better than we can on why our sisters succumb to that kind of.
I am a professional. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I want to sex you up. These women are sacrificing. I can say though, sacrificing their own children to not only be a nut, but to get a nut. Did I say it right? You know, and I tell you, if you need one that bad, get something that don't talk back to you. You know, yeah. This is the reference show. I need to know that. Oh man, I'm just real. I'm real. Be for real. You know, your theme song shouldn't be "It Hurts So Bad."
Yeah.
Let's be for real.
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old granddaughter lives about 8 blocks from here. Everybody knows my granddaughter. You know, she loves around. I walk her. I live for her. I pray about her every day. And I said, God, I hope nobody ever do nothing wrong with that girl, because I know I'll be in jail. But we have a responsibility to protect our children, don't we?
Absolutely. Like they didn't actually be here. We brought them here. God worked it out so they'd be here. We have to protect them. That has to be one of our #1 missions in life, is to protect our children.
Sure. Let me just real quickly tell you all the platforms we're on. We're on 107.5.1, which is the digital station WGPR. We're on WHPR Live, and that's on Comcast platform. You can see that we're also on WTVC Live. You got to go on the internet to catch up with them. We're also on YouTube, and we'll be on Roku. We're going to be Google and everything else. Go ahead.
You know, we were having a discussion about this this week with some other women, and actually some guys as well. And as a woman, and I'm a single parent, I have been, no fault of my own. You know, one of the things that happened, a tragedy that happened like in 1991, but nonetheless, when you have to put the safety, and I'm talking to all the women now, the safety and the well-being of your minor children has to supersede anything else you might want to do to take care of yourself, or something other than going to work, paying the bills, and taking care of your health. I'm going to put it that way. I'm not going to get as graphic as you did. But you know when somebody is not quite right. You see it. Yeah. You don't just wake up one day. You don't go to bed with Dr. Jekyll and wake up with Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
You know Mr. Hyde, he's going to show up long before the tragedy occurs.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say one thing. Now, I had a personal situation. I won't go into it too much, but as a pastor, people bring folk to me and say, I'm going to marry this person. And over the years, Rover, first thing I do, go to the Michigan Defenders website. And I have uncovered for women in my church the fact that these are convicted pedophiles and they got a house full of kids.
Wow.
And number one, I confront the guy and said, first of all, I'm going to report you because you violating the terms of conditions of your offense. Am I right or wrong?
That's right, that's right.
So you ain't got to go to Google. I mean, I tell you, first thing you ought to go is go to that Michigan Offenders website and see what you're dealing with.
Do your own background check. Yeah, you know, and we see these things happen, and unfortunately, this just happened, but it's happened in the past. We see these men, these women leaving their babies with these men who they barely know and haven't done the real work to make sure that they're leaving them in safe hands, and they come back and something's happened to their children, whether it's molestation or whether it's death or whatever happened. And you know, we have to all come together, even as a community. If we see that, if I saw my sister with her baby in a condition like that, and I think it's happening, I'm getting ready to say something. I'm ready to do something. You know what I'm saying? If she can't see it, I'm gonna help her. You know?
So, you know, I was 12 years of age, and my grandparents lived on Hazlet. They bought the house in 1921, 6350 Hazlet. My dad, my great-grandmother, everybody lived in that house. And 3 doors down, there was a guy who was abusing his stepchild, a female. She was about 13, and he actually came out the house one day and was out in the middle of the street beating this girl. And within 30 seconds, my grandfather was probably 80 years old. He had his pistol on the Negro. But at least 8 to 10 of my grandfather's neighbors and their sons and daughters put a whooping on that man so bad and told him to leave Hazlet. He wasn't going back in that house. I'm gonna get you ain't getting nothing. You gonna leave here with your life, because if you come back, we gonna kill you. They just had enough. I'm not suggesting we break the law. You can help us with that.
Right.
But I don't think we ought to sit back and watch folk abuse our people in our community. They're just too precious.
I totally agree with you. Right. Totally agree.
And the trauma that Black women experience, and a lot of it happens in our homes. A lot of research I've done on this too, don't need to story about this, is the majority of these women who've been sexually abused, been abused in their homes, are folks that their parents know or in their family.
That's what the statistics say.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, let's congratulate Sheriff for re-election. It's kind of fresh. But what you need to know is he got to run again next year.
Run next year. Yeah. My fourth year in this position, being appointed back in 2001 January, and being elected. When you're appointed, you got to run in the very next county election to solidify your seat. Yeah. And our county executive, Warren Evans, was in that race, that county race last year, so they threw me in that to solidify the seat, although my time was coming up next year anyway. But yeah, so we got to do it again in 24. Yeah. Every 4 years, so we're gonna be all right.
Well, I just want to put it out there.
For the people.
And I support this brother.
Thank you so much.
And we have some business we do together. We're one of the few organizations in Michigan that got a federal stop, $1.2 million.
Yes.
We work in the Detroit Public Schools, a gang violence reduction program.
Yes.
Brother Ray always gives me a letter of support. We're able to collaborate. Just a good guy. I like folk in public office that don't mind dealing with the public.
No, I love that.
You know what I mean? How you gonna be in public office? You want to
I say that all the time, Reverend, and it drives my staff crazy sometimes, although they're about the public as well. Yeah. I'm super about the public. Yeah. And I'm going to be with the public. I'm going to be the first one there and the last one to leave. Yeah. If they can't stand it, because I got to hit other places.
Well, my people get mad with me too, but I got a rule over here. I be sitting in my office and hearing people talk to folk, tell them about what we don't do, or, sending them. I said, don't ever send nobody who show up here away. Bring them to me, because if I can't help, I'm going to find somebody who can.
There you go.
Isn't that right? Because they come here thinking, well, hey, this is my last hope, and I'm not going to burst their bubble.
Yeah. I say that all the time, Reverend, when I'm at home, and I give my number out, and it drives me crazy again, but I'm just my number is public, right? And so I'm watching movies, trying to have a movie night with my wife or something, and the phone ringing, and I tell her, look, you got to put it on hold, you got to put it on pause. Somebody calling me because they think I can help them. You know what I mean?
Well, it's good to have somebody that understands, but let's have input on this, because what I want you to know, Brother Sheriff, is that being accessible also can cause some damage. So you gotta be careful, because I don't know if you watch Instagram now, but people are posting folks' text messages.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I looked at Instagram yesterday, and some ladies been sleeping with a married man. Well, we got to see the sleep with a married man, and for some reason this time he didn't have no money to give. They in the hotel, so she pulls her cell phone out. I'm gonna show this to your wife. You know, he's trying to cover up. You know, I mean, you gotta be careful. But by the way, hold up one of them hats. He found my T-shirt. Give one of those to the sheriff. This is my Just Black. That's my statement, and I say just black. I don't say why, because at the end of the day, they just Jewish. Y'all didn't follow me. You know, you can be a scientist, you can be a lawyer, you can be a politician, but when they look at us, what are we? Just black.
I wear hats year round. When you ain't got no hair, you gotta protect your hair.
Oh, they coming up in here today. Look at that. We got a bigger crowd than we normally have. No, come on up in here.
They heard about the show, but yeah, I wear caps, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, those are really nice. And Doty, would you like one? Give Doty one, and tell everybody to get a few more. He went to get some T-shirts too. Yeah. I said, Doty. Okay, don't give them all the way to these people. You give everyone. All right, go ahead, Doty. Give us some more information about the demographics and how we connect and how excited you guys are over there. I went over there yesterday. They had a red carpet with cornets and Sheffield back.
Rose petals.
I don't want the rose petals. What was thinking about?
You coming to America?
Right, that's what you, that ain't
Laying it all out.
I hear you. Well, I've been accused of a lot of stuff, but that definitely wasn't.
But, you know, as I said, it's a great, opportunity to, for the station actually to be involved, GPR itself, in a true talk format, in a true show that's truly about the community, not about the glitzy and the cute little things, you know, the little things that go on, but to have some very critical conversation about what's going on in the community and so.
Well, can we ask the audience if they like the new name, the Wake Up Call? I like the Wake Up Call. I don't know, y'all ain't been good to me. We got a preteen or a teenager here too. Look at her, she got two. No, she got one plate. She ain't paying me attention. She got her iPad up. Hopefully, hello, young lady. You all right? You studying? Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you something. We have 20 young people working here for us every day. We're really excited about that. Mark Jones is in the house. Mark Jones, Sports on the Mark with Mark Jones. And who else you talking to? James Wardell. Oh, Brother Wardell. Oh, he's here too. Lord have mercy. I thought that was Isaac Hayes for a moment. Yeah. You know what? I used to have a anxiety about gray hair, but the older I got, I have more anxiety about no hair.
Like me, no hair. Right. Mine is great too, Reverend. I just cut it off. I ain't ready for the gray hair.
So this new show, by the way, we will have fewer commercial breaks. We still want to thank our sponsors here on Clinton Metro Parks. DT is one of our sponsors. DOC is one of our sponsors. Wayne County Treasurer is one of our sponsors. And one of the things that I want to do, this is Dave Felton calling in. I don't know, if Tony here, so we want to get him on the air. I'll worry about that later. Is have some special shows. Ray, we need to have a show where we're recruiting folks for your sheriff corps.
Absolutely. We have a robust recruiting team, and they're out here doing the job. It's just trying to get young folk interested again in law enforcement. You know, when we were young, we wanted to be a doctor, lawyer, police officer, firefighter, and the kids now they're into entrepreneurship, and I'm not mad at that. But while they're trying to build that, they need to come get this money it helped us in the sheriff's
No
office.
question.
Yes.
And I was speaking of money, we work with Wall Street, with the New York Stock Exchange. We have a program here where they actually give you money and teach you how to trade. And I'm not sure when it's going to start again, but we want to keep people aware of that. Now, I meant to mention too, by the way, we also advertise for the arena. I need more shirts than that, Doc, and some more hats. I'm giving away stuff today, since you all are part of our inaugural show.
Yes.
Make some more noise. I'm excited. I'm excited. So, Metro Park, Wayne County Church, but also the Aretha. And you know the OJs will be here next week. I love me some OJs.
Farewell tour.
Well, this is the third farewell tour.
All right.
They don't even need to do that to get people to spend money. But speaking of groups, I also love Frankie Belby Mays. Now he's done. And his group has actually formed their own group again, and I think what they call themselves. But I'm also excited, by the way, that all this stuff happens in our city, and we got a great opportunity to, to do some things. So, so glad to have Denise Doty Johnson, and when I was looking to transition, of course, nobody would do me better than her. Thank you. I have to wait later myself. And you have a party word. We got 3 minutes, and then you and then the sheriff can say whatever you want to say. We got 3 minutes before we go to our break.
So, you let me go? Yeah. All right, thank you. So, congratulations, what I want to say, Reverend, on being on 107.5, legendary, one of our legendary black stations in the city. And I want to say, call me anytime. I'll be here for you. I love being here. I love the breakfast. I love our conversation, our relationship. And having Doty here with you is really a big deal, because she was very, very, very instrumental in my campaign.
Yeah.
She
was behind Kwame Gilpatrick in the first ring.
Yeah, so she's a source to be reckoned with. She can get it done, I'm telling you. So
we'll have a potpourri of people who endorse the new platform. I'm gonna be spending some money on billboards and on her radio station to advertise. I would love to get a little, word from you. It's Sheriff Ray Washington. I'm always listening to the wake up call.
Always.
Doty?
I'm glad to have been a part of this. Been close with you and Raphael for many years.
Yes.
And so it's I consider it my privilege to be able to.
You and me, girl, go a long way back. Yeah, one thing about Doty doesn't involve secrets. Y'all missed that, didn't you? Well, we ain't done no kissing, but whatever we done, you ain't told. So you gonna have people looking stuff up now. We ain't never kissed. Well, I said we ain't done nothing else either, because a lot of folks do stuff and no kiss. Y'all gonna talk about this? You can't kiss me, but but no, Doty's my girl, and we appreciate you be back on WGPR. Honor Dr. William Banks and my uncle Jim Panicus, who was a station manager over there. George White, Ulysses Boykins, all of those folks in that great tradition. Sugar, salt, and salt ain't my fault.
I was with them the other day, on the holiday. It's good to see that.
We got to have him back over here.
And one thing that a lot of people don't know, and that you should know, when you talk about that, sugar, salt, we're talking about the scene, which was a legendary part of Detroit's history.
Yes.
If you come to the William A. Banks Museum, which is WGPR, the museum's in the bank, in the back rather, every Friday, the museum is open and it is free to the public.
Yes.
And you get to see history, you get to see all these things that happened in the making, and so it's an untapped jewel.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, we got to take a break. By the way, I had a sports program on there called Speaking of Sports with Bill Humphreys, and that actually helped me get elected to the school board at 21. I was doing high school sports. We'll be right back after this. This is the wake up call. Make some noise. This is Family Protect. Come back and enjoy the family show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I don't know, bro.
I'm just saying. Right.
I can't keep that. My memory bad.
We're so glad to have her here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about what you're doing, and what we're going to be doing, how you're going to be helping us, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff you're doing.
Yeah, so I own a marketing agency. Davo is one of our clients, and we do the majority of their marketing, media relations. And then I also do business coaching. I help women to leave corporate America and break six figures.
By just women?
That's my calling.
Okay.
It's women.
Well, it's really interesting because networking makes a difference. So Shayla was connected with me on LinkedIn, and I scroll through there. There's a lot of folks that I deal with and I do business with. I mean, I think I met Stephanie Bennett that way on Instagram, and then I look at this stuff, I follow what they do, see how they do, and then I call her, we have lunch, and
That's his history, right?
the rest is history. I mean, our hypertension campaign has received international acclaim and unparalleled success. Our high blood pressure program and stuff like that, you've all been responsible for. So what's the name of your company?
So the marketing agency is called Coach Communications, and the business coaching is Ask Everyday Shay.
Okay, and we're also joined by this gentleman over here, Grover McCants, who you normally see on TV with a neck brace on, for law firms, no, we won't. Yes, we will. No, we won't. Yes, you will. And next thing you know, they handed him a check. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Rev. You are just, a hero. Remember we had the old Heroes Garage show back then from 98 to 2005. And I mean, you are the epitome of that concept of being a hero because you have made Wyoming and Grand River the epicenter of the community for the whole city of Detroit. Y'all need to give this man some praise and applause. That you're doing up and down Grand River with Horace Sheffield. I mean, it's just sends chills through my spine.
Yeah.
To watch this brother, who I remember that ride outside Cass Tech in that 70 copper-colored bronze died challenge.
Man, how you know all of that?
I remember that ride.
Man,
you and Michael Greer.
Yeah, my dad was
he was doing donuts.
Four barrel.
Was a donut.
It was a 4-barrel Hemi.
Yeah.
White, top.
Yeah.
And my dad had bought a brand new Chrysler New Yorker. And he bought that car for himself because, he was only 50-some years old. And he didn't drive it much. So he let me drive it until he found out what I was doing with it. And he gave me the Chrysler and he took the New York and he took that Dodge Challenger. But it's amazing to talk about those cars. They don't look that much different.
Right.
Yeah, it was a great car.
Yeah, but, I applaud you for everything you're doing. And I'm just so proud of everything you're doing. I was over at your place for that American Basketball Hall of Fame event this last month, and that place is just immaculate, and the job you did on that. I mean, Grand River, Illinois, that's my old library. I went to Tappan Junior High School.
Yes, so, but we're not done yet.
Yeah.
We acquired a lot of land over here. That property right on the other side of our other building, in a large corner, we own that. I wasn't going to use it for parking, but I have a vision of putting a small youth center there for after-school activity, pool, ping pong, video games, and stuff like that for the community. We got housing. Working with Mike Epps. Mike is a formidable, with his wife, housing development person. He's purchased every house he owned. His mother lived in Indianapolis. They were on welfare. They moved a lot, like 12 homes. And he's renovated all of them and made them affordable and stuff like that. So, I do what I do because there's great people around me, like the Shaver. I mean, people may not come, they may not support, but they're gonna know about it. Because the Shaver will make sure that every platform we have is drenched in news about what we do. Ed, you got any questions about that?
Well, with Ms. Coates, I do have a connection with her, and I'm gonna tell you, she's very accessible, and she's willing to help you if you're willing to be helped. We can't help those who don't want to help themselves, but she is a vast resource of knowledge and information when it comes to the internet and business. So, having been in business myself, I recognize the fact that I'm telling you, you have the opportunity to speak to this young lady. She's a wealth of knowledge. And there's other gentleman sitting next to me, an old gas technician. But
I didn't know you were going.
No. Big Rapper, we were the one that took Cass down.
The hustle.
73, 74, brother. We put Cass on the bus, baby.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right, Rapper High School, the big huskies, baby, right
Let me ask you, what did you do to defend immigration in that school? Because 75, 74, 75.
Well, I got there in
that was off the
72,
roof.
and I mean, it's like me and, Attorney Lawrence Walker, brother Mr. Larry Walker, and Dodie Johnson. Dodie Johnson and I go back to Winterhalter. Dodie Johnson and I go back to Winterhalter, so we are a long-time family.
Well, he's talking about the donuts in front of the Cass.
No, but I would hang out at Cass Tech.
Oh, so you want to be around, bro?
Yes.
Well,
I rode that big red Imperial up there. I had that big red and white Imperial. You remember the thing wrong is Yes, sir. And I got in trouble up there. And in fact, one year they had me organize the Cass alumni reunion. I said, well, you know how they go there. They said, well, you've been there enough to go there, so I might as well have the diploma from there too. But I did organize a couple of their class reunions.
Did you?
For 74, yeah.
We just had our 50th last year, and class of 73, Gina Ellis, who I thought she was in my class because she hung out with so many of us, just like everybody thought I was in 73.
Yeah.
I spent a whole year after I graduated up in front of Cass.
Yeah, there you go.
Picking up cuties.
There you go. That was a spot.
And Cass had pretty girls.
Yes, it is.
But by the way, while we're on that subject, you know who the king of the back halls was? Ed Collins.
Okay.
Wait a minute now. I deny any allegation towards me. It wasn't me. If you didn't take a picture with me with the recent newspaper and the date and the time, it wasn't me.
But you know, those were good days.
Yeah,
Man.
they
You
were.
think about,
They were.
we had high school dances. You go down to Statler Hilton. I mean, you go to local, was it local 224 over on Boulevard?
No, 876.
876, that was a different one. There was one down
Right there
on
on
John
12
Howard.
and Boulevard.
That was right, that was local 876.
212.
212.
212.
It was on John Howard and West Grand Boulevard. And then the DAV over on Jefferson.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you the real good part was over there at the Immaculate High School on Greenmont.
Oh, I know about Immaculate.
Oh, yeah.
All the sisters were over there.
You
Oh,
talking events or having, yeah,
that was
but you know, Immaculate girls had bad reputation.
Well,
You know that.
but
They went to a good school, but they were known for having more fun.
There was a lot of fun.
That's right. I learned a lot.
Well, I got converted pretty early. I'm gonna be honest with you because my mom died in the 11th grade. I was mad, and I met this young lady. Her initials was CA, and I kind of took advantage of her. And I honestly say it's the only time in my whole life that I did that. And you know, she bought me my outfit for my senior pictures and all that. And I'm over here, you know, hanging out with this woman that way. And what converted me, Sister Juanita, was the word got to me that she was outside with a pistol, looking for me. And talking about the back halls, I went hit the dark back halls until everybody's school was gone. God told me, look, I don't know what God did to me. I'm gonna bring you all your stuff back, all the money is on me. I'll never do this again. I got scared straight. That's what you sisters need to do. You need to put some fear of God in some of these Negroes. You said to give us some tips on how we get the word out and how we reach people. By the way, I have a really great team because Stephanie Bennett also augments a lot of what Tashayla does. So you see me out there doing all kinds of stuff on Instagram now. I'm on the new one. What's the new one?
Thread.
I'm on Threads.
Yeah.
And I had to figure it out because for me, threads meant how you dress. You remember you do threads? I got some nice threads. But Tashayla, help us here.
Yeah, so in order to get out there, you really want to be on every platform. You know, every platform your audience is on. So whoever you're trying to reach, make sure that you're on that platform that they're on. So there's such thing as called the marketing rule of 7. So essentially, you have to get your message, they have to see it 7 times before taking action. So the more contact you have with them, the great. Maybe they see something on TV, a commercial, then they see you on social media ad, or then they see you on Instagram. So multiple platforms, multiple times.
So that's not annoying to people when you just keep seeing you every time they drive down the street, they hear you on the radio. They look up in the sky, they see you on the billboard. You see what I'm saying? And that then they go turn on TV, then there you go again.
So the people that's not your audience, it's gonna annoy them. Yeah, but the people that is your audience, because the thing is, you gotta think you driving, right? So you driving, or you busy, you doing whatever, and you like, oh, okay, cool, I wanna do this, and then you driving. You know, you forget about it, you get to your destination, or you scrolling, and you at work. You know, you scrolling on social media, so you forget about it.
Yeah.
So then you keep getting these reminders of like, okay, I'm finally
I gotta call them, I gotta give them my money. I gotta give them my money.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it though is, a lot of this is subliminal, and I don't know if you've ever tested yourself. I'm at the point when I can barely hear something, but I recognize it, right? I'll turn it up, and that's exactly what it is. So I know that in a subconscious way, a lot of this stuff settles in. You know what I mean?
And with the advent of AI, how is that impacting marketing?
Yeah, so AI really can be a blessing or a curse the way you look at it. You know, same as social media, like some people love it and some don't. But AI is really helpful. It can be helpful if you use it in the right ways. So for example, for my agency, we use the AI program to actually write all of our content. So we spend a lot less time writing content. So for example, we did our partner, we did a letter to all of our partners. The AI wrote the letter.
And that's artificial intelligence, you know.
Well, be
For older folks.
be careful telling them
But you
that.
think you talking about Allen
Because
Iverson.
we'll be paying.
When I hear AI, I think of Allen Iverson, the answer, you know, but it's not that AI.
But you know, it's interesting, if you watch 60 Minutes, that they had a statement on there where artificial intelligence was calling people's parents. And they were actually having conversations with them as if it was actually them talking.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, let me see, David, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, you want to say something? I got you on speaker.
Just want to say congratulations. Super happy to be a part of this team. I'm excited about our future moving on. And I miss you guys. I miss everybody that's there. Looking at you on YouTube, everything looks good. And I'm just looking forward to seeing the great things we got going on.
Yeah, where are you, David?
I am in Cancun, Mexico right now.
Really?
All right.
Be careful,
All right.
because they kidnapping Americans down there, you know.
Okay. I am in Camp Angels Lord.
You know what I mean, that's the location, but I'm glad the Lord got you, but be careful, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, that's my co-host. You gotta get him in. He can call me incessantly. You know, he don't want to miss any opportunity to have his voice heard. Well, guys, what do you want to talk about this, Sheila? I mean, I know you don't you have a blog and all of that?
I do.
Oh, before we go any further, let me tell you, we're in the process. I don't know where Tony is now, but we're building a first-class studio in our building down the street. Radio, TV, to have every imaginable platform you can come down there. And what we're really trying to do is build a platform where people can come and do the things that you guys do. I mean, it'll be first class, all the equipment imaginable, and you go live with your program. So I think communications is a thing that we need to hone in on more, getting our messages straight, so people know, what it is we do, who we are, and all of that. So, Grover, what's up? Tell us about that.
I mean, everything's been going on. I've been pretty busy for an old man. I like to think of myself in the movie industry as the dollar store, Morgan Freeman or Larry Fishburne. When they can't afford those guys, then they can call me. And I give them a good performance. And we've been doing plenty of movies. I just wrapped on Midwestern Family with Jim O'Heir from Parks and Rec. We shot that out in Western Michigan for 3 weeks. And that's why I've been missing a lot of your events, because I'm either on the set or on something like that. I did a national spot for Good RX out in LA back in March. That's on all the platforms.
Right.
And telling
And that's
my heart attack story.
Feminino.
Femininio, We won't pay. We won't pay.
Yeah.
That's
Well, how much did he give you to have a broke neck?
Well,
what I want to know, it ain't clear in the commercial how the neck got broke.
Well, that's the whole story.
They got broke back and they got broke neck.
Yeah, well, we have to keep watching, because there may be some more, sequels to that story.
We tell us he need to come over and do some advertising with us as well, man. We're listening to that. And we're gonna build our platform, and we're just excited about that. I think that having somewhere, at least for me, because I actually thought about not coming back on radio and TV when this interruption occurred.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it 25 years. I do it every Saturday morning. I've taken off more lately because I like to go down the floor and enjoy myself. But then I started thinking about the opportunity to be able to express myself about things, owning my own platform where I'm not governed by the station, culture and all of that is really important. And so my vision is to really use this as an opportunity not only to talk about stuff we do to Shayla, but also empower other people.
Well, Dodie Johnson can really speak to this, but the independent film industry in Detroit and around Metro Detroit is exploding and is taking over the world. You all have to know that on the Tubi platform right now, that is dominated by Detroit-based filmmakers, actors, and actresses. And it's not being talked about by the mainstream media. They keep talking about incentives, but the incentives are great, but they don't necessarily involve us to that degree. So when you look up, you Google Dennis Reed, you Google Darren Brown, you Google Renika McQueen, Grover McCann, Lamaster Spratney, there are some budding actors, directors, and producers out here just doing amazing things. Paige Austin, that used to work with you.
Yes.
We produced 2 movies now, and she's on our Different Rules show, doing those with Gregory Quarles, who sold his daddy's Challenger for $1 million. That's like those.
Well, I got a script on my desk right now that I'm playing a role in that's being filmed here toward the end of July. I haven't even known my lines, but I'm supposed to be a preacher. So I don't think I have to learn much.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I ain't gonna be no buffoon though, because I don't like the way they caricature some preachers sometimes. Always about money. And getting the money, you know.
Yeah, but you got we gotta get some of these filmmakers on your show there.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it, man. Because it's amazing. I mean, we worked on Corruption with Dennis Reed. I did this week. We started rehearsals. We got a new series called Stranger in the House. It's being produced by Renika McQueen and co-directed by Kamal Smith, who's another, excellent actor.
I got a good title for a sequel on that.
Oh yeah.
Stranger in the Bed.
Oh yeah, there's that too. This is gonna be a story that's written on September. We start shooting episode 4 next week.
Yeah.
It'll probably be out by the first of the year after.
And you know this guy is a PR guy too. You know that, right?
I was working with Dance Media Group.
He'll spend night like it's daylight.
Yeah. I never stop. I'll be 67 at the end of the month. So I always picture myself working till I stop.
Yeah.
If God says, "Come on."
Ride the wave, buddy. I'll be 69 in
December. Ain't no retirement here. Ain't no retirement.
So talk about the movie with Mike though, that I had a couple cameos in.
Oh yeah, the Different Rules. Now, Different Rules is something we put together. In fact, it started out as my doctoral dissertation. And it was so controversial, it was rejected multiple times, So I said, well, we just make a TV show out of it. And we probably interviewed about 25 judges, probably about 50 community activists, community leaders like Reverend Sheffield here. I got my man, Mr. Ivy Edwards over there, who is a part of this, who's been interviewed there, and multiple judges, attorneys, and people that have, been impacted by, jury pool manipulations, let's call it, or jury pool, like when they abolished the Recorder's Court in 1994 after Nevis Butson, and then you had all our jury pools being chosen from Western Wayne County, downriver, and then you get in the courtroom, they say, well, here comes the jury coming out of the jury room, and then it's like, wait a minute. We in Chocolate City, it's only one or two
more than that.
on
They created what they call a suppression file.
Yes, sir.
Where they basically, if they sent you a notice and you didn't respond, they put you almost 1 million folks from primarily black communities in this file. You would never ask again to be on the jury.
And in Oakland County, it's worse than that because I showed up for jury duty in Oakland County and they look at me, they look at my address, and they be like, sir, you're okay. I said, what do you mean okay? And I want to serve, jury duty is fun. I don't know how many of y'all been on the jury, but it is fun to see these, stories unfold and you hear the evidence and you hear the testimony from both sides, civil and criminal. But we're not fairly represented, and that's one of the things. And see, no judge has ever talked about this, but we do in Different Rules have judges talking about this, and that'll be premiering in the fall.
Okay, so let's do this. We got about a minute or 2 left. Tell people how they can connect with you and utilize your service. And then we'll get you on that tip too.
Okay.
Yep, so you can connect with me on social media, pretty much any platform at Ask Everyday Shade. You can also email me info@askeverydayshade.com. If you're looking for marketing help, you can email me or call 866-418-7070.
Do that again, because people
Yeah.
Say it loud.
write it down.
Say it loud.
Phone number for co-communication applications, 866-418-7070.
All right, Grover, how do people
Okay.
connect with you?
Okay, I'm Grover McCants, aka Dick Brown on Facebook. Okay, Grover McCants 1 on Instagram. Okay, imdb.me/Grover McCants on the Independent Movie Database. You can see all my film work there. And then with Hollingsworth McCants Media Group, we do everything under the sun. We probably help elect, over 50 some judges and different politicians, all the way up to the President of the United States. We did a commercial for Joe Biden in 2020, and that is HMMGDetroitLLC.com. And we do it all: film, television, radio production, voiceover, everything. That's my voice on the Detroit Tigers Myers commercial. And I'm sure you guys hear my voice every day somewhere. And it's fine. And like I said, it's like the dollar store, Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones, or Fishbone. All
right,
y'all can't afford them.
We gotta take a break, and every now and then he also sits in as a voice of God. We'll be right back after this. Let's pull for some of this stuff here. Where's my staff?
Yeah, Mark and
Come on, Mark. And where are my people that are pulling stuff? Aaron, where are my people that are pulling stuff? Okay. Extraordinary shape. All right, let's pull the hats and t-shirts right now. And we'll put you back in so you can win the tickets. 282.
No,
282. good day. Hello, somebody. What's up, Mark Jones?
What's up? Glad to be here. Congratulations.
All right, and your co-hosting with you,
Jimmy Wardell.
Brother Ward, I'm going to say Wardell. Wildman Wardell. You Wildman Wardell? Speak right in the mic, you always.
No, don't want.
If you want to take it off the moment, you can do that too. All right, yeah, so this is our new format, man, and we're on a variety of platforms. People can see us and hear us. And so anyway, let's talk about sports, man. You have some stuff you want to talk about. Let me start with the Tigers. Are the Tigers on their way up or on their way down?
They're on their way through. Well, listen, the Tigers lost last night. They lost 2 to Oakland. They're 11 games out of first place. But their players are coming back. So they've got a chance to make a little run, I think. Badu's coming back. And Jimmy told me this morning Green is coming back. So they've got a chance to make a run, but he has some specific things that he thinks they need if they really want to contend. Jim?
They're 11 games under 500, but they're only 7 games out of the lead in the AL Central. Now they're getting 3 pitchers back. They're getting 2 hitters back. I think if they really want to contend, they need another big bat in that lineup.
Yeah, but I see promise in this team. You know, they can be exciting. I know you go down and see them all the time.
Yeah, I was supposed to go last night, but I got confused about my schedule. But I like, you know, I go to the Tigers Club. I watch from the window. Food is great. I love the Tigers. But, you know, I just have been excited about them, you know, for quite a while.
But I think, yeah, same here. Most people feel the same way. How come it takes them so long to rebuild? Others come back and rebuild 2 and 3 times before they do it once. I just think that, you know, I see something here. It may not be this season because they are 11 games behind 500, but their division is so bad, like Jim said, they are only 7 games back. They have to win the division this year, though. But I think we're going to have an interesting rest of the summer, at least through up until September. We'll be watching and wondering if they're going to be able to pull out a division win.
All right, well, guess what? I just got a blast email from the folks that handle the Aretha. And believe it or not, they're announcing that Frankie Beverly and Mays featuring Frankie Beverly. That's the new name of the group, not Frankie Beverly. Whatever it is, Mays featuring Frankie Beverly will be Saturday, August 19th. So I guess he hasn't completed his album. I'll be there. Oh, by the way, let's just get this off the table. You know what's happening Sunday, July 30th?
No, what is happening?
In Canton, Ohio.
You're the Hall of Fame?
I'm getting inducted to the high school football Hall of Fame.
That is fantastic.
I've got a bus going down and taking the football team to the high school that I'm on, and Archie Mann is in that class, Lomas Brown is in that class, and I don't know how I got in that class, except for the folks who organized it and were commissioned by the official Hall of Fame did so. I tried to get my classmate, be honest with you, Ed was a better player than I was, at least I thought he was. But I'm excited for this to happen. And now, you know, I got a nice jacket I'll be able to wear and all that. I got it big enough, Ed, though. If I can't, you know, can't use it, I'll let you wear it.
Those are your shoes, man. Those are your shoes.
All right,
Let me ask you, who was your coach during the days that you played?
Well, when I was in Windsor, which when I was all-city 9th and 10th grade, we won the city championship, Jack Hoole.
Okay.
And Reno Latoya was my baseball coach who played for the Detroit Tigers. Mr. Dragovich was my basketball coach. But when we were at Cass, who was the coach?
Dick Cole.
Dick Cole.
Now, he's a famous coach, turned out a lot of athletes, especially.
And much was unfair.
Yeah, why?
Because he had non-typical methods. I mean, he was, and then I'm thinking, did he have some kind of nervous condition or something?
Well, I think he gave it from his days of boxing. You know, he
Right.
did have he would flash in and out sometimes.
Right.
But as far as being treated unfairly, you corrected that because he sponsored the girls' track at Cass Tech for several years that I knew him personally.
Right.
And when they performed like they did, and the track team was given to somebody else, he never received any kind of compensation. But when he put into the program and his program started, and he was forced out.
But we also know that he is personally responsible for Aaron Kyle.
Yeah.
When Aaron's father died, in my understanding, and quit the team, and then he went over there and they claim he knocked him out, put him in the car, and brought him back to the school.
Well, I don't know about that portion of it. But Cole was instrumental in a lot of what Taz had become.
Right. And he had a lot of primetime players, whatever.
Went to U of M, they built U of M, but Aaron Kyle played for the Denver Broncos.
Dallas Cowboys, first round draft choice, player personnel rep, and all that good stuff.
That's good.
Went to Wyoming. Yep. Okay. What else you want to talk about, fellas?
I want to talk about.
I'm gonna have a hard time looking at that sound of kettle with them biscuits. Go ahead.
Mark, did you see the young boy last night? What was your take on the young boy?
That's just what I was getting ready to say. Jimmy and I wanted to talk about that, and I told you about it last night. We played at 9:30.
Who is the young boy?
Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
He's from France. He's 19 years old. He's 7'4" or 5", depending on who you talk to. He runs the floor like a gazelle.
He handles.
He handles the ball.
And what team is he on?
He is going to be on the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about the Pistons, man.
No, but this is, everybody was in the house last night. It was a packed house. And this is the basketball issue of the week.
And the young man plays defense too. I see him block a couple shots two-handed, just take it out the air. These were dunks.
He did all that, but it was an underwhelming first game. I say that.
Underwhelming or overwhelming?
Underwhelming.
For 13 shooting.
For 13.
And, you know, he's been valued for his handle.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when he tried to go down low with his handle, they stole the ball. So it's
that ball got to travel.
Well, there's a lot of distance between his hand and the floor.
But at 7'5", he might not be able to get away with that as a pro.
Right. In the NBA.
But
He's been in France.
Pass and shoot, man. Don't dribble.
defensively, he looked good. He had some elite level passes. But, you know, 213 just stands out.
He passes. Now, that was his first game, but he passes like Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I love his pass.
Yeah, he's
Okay, man, you know, nobody can hear you. You want to talk, grab that microphone, and then you can join the conversation. Have you ever played an athlete?
I have.
You got to turn it on. Have you ever played? I want to ask you, have you ever played an athlete? So right now you're playing a guest on my show. You're up here.
Well, I do have and wear NBA championship rings. I was a part of the Bad Boys organization. You know,
Yeah, but was you playing basketball, playing something else?
No, I was making the money to pay the basketball players.
Okay, I got you.
I was earning the millions from Mr. Davidson so he could pay Isaiah and Joe and Sal and Buddha, Robin. But you know, I was with the great, God bless his soul, rest in peace, Quentin King on Sports Talk for almost 15 years.
Yeah. Okay, we know Brother Quentin.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Quentin passed away.
Okay, you got any questions for my esteemed
Yes, let's talk about Stu Henderson, the number 2 pick with Charlotte that was out there last night. How did he look?
Well, he looked good, but he suffered an injury last night.
Oh, he got hurt. Okay.
And
Another twin, the Thompson twin.
And Ben Thompson as well suffered an injury.
Now, that's the one who's
That's
twin
the
brother
twin of the serve who plays for the Pistons.
Right.
And we get to see him tonight.
They play tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
But, you know, Scoop.
All right, well, let's turn attention to my favorite local. Don't go nowhere. My favorite local team, which is the Detroit Lions. I'm going to be on a cruise when they open with Kansas City. I don't know what I was thinking of. I bought some great seats. I had some with somebody. But my concern, as I said to you, Mark, is that, you know, everybody's picking up on the Lions now. They're getting hyped. I mean, is that going to hurt them?
Well, you notice that the hype is slowing down a little bit. People are saying that has improved and they're going to make a run for it. So the hype is slowing down. I know that, and I'm one of them, but every year I buy into it. They've got a coach that should have some experience, so he won't do the same dumb stuff
that he did last year in terms of losing 2 games. They could have made the playoffs last year. They've got a great offense. They've got players to help. Their weakness is maybe the receiving corps, and the defense is getting older, wiser, and better, and they came on last year.
There's some good free agent signings from Pittsburgh and San Francisco that should help enormously in the defensive backfield. Mark, what do you think about that? What do you think about them losing the 2 running backs, like swapping them out because?
I think that they got some good running backs for it, but it's about chemistry too. And when you take some players out of the game, out and make them, you change some things, you got to make sure you build that same chemistry. You got to make sure you have the same locker room, teamwork. All that stuff goes into how players play. But this coach is a motivator, and he gets people up, so they should be okay. But people are backing down a little bit on their projections because Chicago looks better. All the things you did say it makes them
Okay,
better.
but why, I want you to sit and say, but why do they do deals with some of those running backs?
I don't know, because I thought that Jamal Williams is the soul of the team last year.
Right.
And I think that that's the guy that you keep. Montgomery supposedly is better, but sometimes better doesn't always work out.
Right, better is not best.
Yes.
The Jamal is the one that really baffles me.
No, I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's going to add a dimension to the game that we haven't seen around here since, I don't want to put that on him, but Barry Sanders. Wow. With that speed.
Okay.
But, they've improved on the defensive backfield with about 3 free agent signings. I think the pass rush, which was good last year, will be even better.
Okay. So my question is this, and Robert can answer more. Here's the one thing that I say, and I'm emotionally attached to this team, okay? Because I've been a season ticket holder since '88 in the Silverdome, right? And I enjoyed when Wayne Fonts was here. They got rid of him, but those were some fun days.
Losing us and winning as coach the Lions have ever had.
Yeah. So
first black coach the Lions.
Hold on, Judge Ford. What I don't want to see is another season that begins like last year, where we had this great hope and then an immediate letdown because it looks like we're going back in the same direction. What I really want to see is for us to do something special from the beginning. Is that possible? And we got about 2 more minutes, and I got to bring Judge.
Well, you got the best of the best in the first game at Kansas City, baby. So it's gonna be barbecue and mildew right there. And know what the deal is. Right off the bat, first game, no question.
At Kansas City.
At the World Champs.
Yeah, I had 2 tickets, like row 8, but I had to give them up, so,
Then again, after Kansas City, you have the NFC South, which is the worst division in football right now.
So
you
you
have
get
3
a chance to
games
beat a
against
few
it.
bums.
So you got a chance to make up. And it would not surprise me, being the Lions, if they best round to win in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Beat Kansas City and then lose to Carolina or something.
And if you believe that, then the wicked witch of the East can become the nice witch of the West.
Kansas City has already gotten.
Let's do this, guys. Let me take a quick break. We got Judge Geraldine Bledsoe for. Hold on, Judge. I'm trying to think. Where's the speaker at on this phone? There we go. Turn up a little bit. This is my neighbor, my friend. Her grandfather, Harold Bledsoe Ford, was a cohort of Booker T. Washington. Mamie Bledsoe Ford was a valiant trailblazer, a mentor of my dad's. And then, of course, her mother, Geraldine Bledsoe Ford, who married Lenny Ford. And I don't know if I told you, Deborah, I've got that poster in the back of my building with your dad's signature. Did you see that?
Yes, with the Cleveland Brown?
Yes, with Jim Brown's signature.
Hall of Famer.
Yep. Well, welcome to my show. You called in to congratulate us, and yeah.
Sister and I too.
Yep.
Congratulations on your new show.
Now, did I hear you retired?
Yes, well, I got retired because of, they have an age limit in Michigan. It's a state court, not the federal. So, yes, that happened December 31st, 2022.
Okay.
And I stepped up fourth building in the office of Attorney Todd Perkins.
Okay, so you practicing with Todd Perkins, okay.
Yes, yes.
TP, are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me just tell you, Deborah dated this guy. What was Greg's name in high school? He went to Country Day. What was his name?
Carter?
The guy you dated, yeah, he didn't like me because he knew I had my eye on this pretty girl that was my neighbor. And Deborah was about 2 or 3 years older than me. And at that time, I thought she was the most beautiful thing to walk on the face of the earth.
Hey, Horace.
And her mama knew it. And your mother was good to let you know where your place was and where it wasn't. But go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, Debbie Ford was a cheerleader at Cass.
Yeah, Debbie Ford was a cheerleader.
I know.
Yeah. It's Ed Collins. He said, you know. What else do you know?
Was that Ed?
That's Big Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Hey, Debbie.
Hey, we used to be down there on the, practicing at the same time on the football field.
That's right. You used to ride the bus together to the game.
Okay, that's all the history we need to know.
That's why
I'm
you
gonna
don't
really be mad. I'm gonna really be mad if I found out that Greg was enough. And Greg drove a red road runner. Charger, yeah, souped up, you know, and all of that. But that's all right, because I was really nice to Deborah. She said, "You're such a handsome young man, and you're such a gentleman." And I was floating on like the floaters. Well, you have to come in and do some commentary for us and talk about the law and.
Yeah, you need a lawyer. She's for hire, Rev. They need to get Judge Ford's number now, because they need a lawyer.
There you go. There you go. I'm gonna have to
write that number down,
you as a co-host too, Doc. Give out. My brother here says give out. Growers and give out your phone number so people can reach you.
All right, 313-407-4996. I also have a website up now too.
Okay. What's your website?
And you can find it also just by putting my name in, Deborah Geraldine Bledsoe Ford. I have it both ways.
Deborah Geraldine Bledsoe Ford.
Or either I know the courtroom.com.
Yeah, those are all on both sides of the beach.
Yeah. Well, this is a historic family on the northeast side of Detroit. As you know, I didn't even know when I met you guys the relationship that my father had with your grandparents and with your mother. Your mother,
And your grandparents.
And my grandparents. And your mother, if I'm not mistaken, was the first black elected judge, right?
Female
judge, yes.
The third female judge, period, is the first black one.
Yeah, and by the way, if she was here now, we'd have a lot less crime, because nobody wanted to be in her court. She did not play. There you go. Well, we're so glad to have you, and we appreciate you being on our show. We're going to have you come in the studio soon, and we'll help let people know about your work, and really appreciate you. And I'm going to give a salute to your sister, Sissy, who was my best friend. As you know, we hung out all through my 12th grade and all of that. We did a lot of stuff together.
I thought but thank you, Horace. For all of you out there, the families were close on many levels. My mother became his sister, Levine's adopted mother, and so on and so forth.
Yes. And by the way, I've gone through my sister's stuff, still sorting through her pictures and stuff, and found a photo of you and Anita. I sent that to you. Yeah.
You did, and I showed my entire family.
Yeah. I'm gonna give that photo to you. Okay.
So much.
All right. Well, God bless you, Deborah Geraldine Bledsoe Ford. Give out the phone number one more time.
313-407-4996. I would like to also tell all of you out there, I have the extra edge. That means I practiced law for 20 years. So I was on the bench almost 20 years. Now I'm practicing again. I know everything for both sides.
And if you got a criminal case, she's not Houdini, but she does result in the Great Escape. All right. All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right. Okay, getting back to what you're going to say, that was this our inaugural show, so we got people calling in to celebrate, and
we just like to say congratulations as well. This is fantastic. We got a great platform here, and there's on so many platforms, and you're gonna be able to get the word out for Detroit and, your community, and I appreciate that, and
Yeah.
everybody does.
Yeah, well, and while I got you here, I'm working on rate reduction for GTE.
That's my day job.
There you go.
I'm talking about
All
sports.
right, what else you want to talk about?
Well, University of
I
Michigan.
love Wardell's voice. Say something again, Wardell. Get up there, say something.
What you want me to say?
Say it. Say, hey, baby, are you busy tonight?
Hey, University of Michigan has the top 5 class so far. They were at number 1 in terms of recruiting for 2024. They're going to have USC and UCLA coming into the conference in 2024, so they're going to need that class because football is going to change in the Midwest and throughout the country. It's going to be better for us. It's going to be very exciting.
Did the brother lose his job at Michigan State? What's happening with him? Because that was just a total collapse.
No, he didn't lose his job, but he lost his NIL money. Matt Ishbia had to divest from that because he owns the Phoenix Suns right now.
Okay.
But his class is ranked right now 12th in the Big Ten.
Okay.
That's pretty bad. It's only about 14 teams.
Yes, that's not good. You know, he struck lightning in the bottom his first year with the transfer portal, but after that, he's had some down years.
Yeah, yeah. You got a question, young man? All day, every day, Jesus?
Yes.
Go ahead. What is it?
I wanted to say, how you got to get back together as a team to start practice? How you get back together?
Can you interpret that for us? You know how we get back together?
How you got to get back together to practice to get this sports?
All right. He want to know what does he do after he practices? I guess that's what he asked. All right. Well, anyway, we appreciate the question. He's a regular person that attends our show. We certainly appreciate that he's here. Any other questions from the audience? So let's run through your predictions again. The Tigers, where will they wind up?
And I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're not going to be able to beat them. They'll show promise, and people will be excited for next year. They need a couple bats, as Jim says, and I think a little bit more speed, and they'll be ready for next year. But I'm going to go down and watch them because they are excited.
Well, we'll go together. Wardell, your take.
I think 3rd place. I think that the Indians are still a little better, but I think they can come in 3rd place, and they've got young Colt Keith down on the farm and some other players, and hopefully you get Casey Mines back next year so you can make a full recovery and then get a big bat and go from there. Because the Twins are not world beaters, and they won't be world beaters, so you always have a chance in the AL Central.
Okay. Ed, you want to comment on that?
Well, I just hope that, because my past impression of the Tigers has been that we get some good ball players, but when they get good, they get traded. You know, we need to hold on to some of these ball players for a little bit longer because you lose that chemistry.
Especially pitching. They get rid of pitching really fast.
Yeah.
Because they got to pay them. They had one of the best pitching corps in the Major League Baseball, and they said we're going to get better, but they gave them all away, and then they won all kinds of stuff. So that's the problem.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the Pistons. We'll stop and get work this way back.
Pistons, to me, they show a lot of promise because they are putting a lot of stock in youth, but like anything back with sports, you got to have that chemistry.
Right.
You don't. Everybody wants a name, but the name won't give you the magic to win a game.
Right.
You got to have that flow between your individual players where they are operating as a team. And if you don't have that, you're not going to have. You can win some games, but you're not going to win on a consistent basis.
All right. Wardell?
Let's face it with the Pistons. They had too many DNP, did not play healthy scratches the past 2 years because they were playing for a lottery pick. They put all their cards on the table, had the worst record in the NBA, and drafted 5th.
Yeah, right.
So I think this year, if all these players play, you got Cade Cunningham, Jay Ivey, Jalen Durham, to name a few. These guys play. James Wiseman, who's the #1 pick 3 years ago. If they all play, I think they can win at least 30 games and may possibly be a play-in contingent.
Okay. Yeah, I think, this is Mark. I think that the Pistons are gonna win maybe 10 more games, but they're too young, and they need chemistry. They're gonna have to get a mix of veteran players, and what concerns me is, are they gonna give up the wrong players? Because if you notice, and you look at the games, the NBA playoffs, their older players that they discarded are sprinkled everywhere. And I think you said they
Or on the championship team.
That's what I'm talking about. So
5.
I
You gotta
hope.
count DeAndre Jordan. Well, he was here technically was a Piston property, but not a player.
I hope this administration that they have knows what they're doing because they can give it up. And you talk about Cade Cunningham, he hasn't played a full season yet. He may be a dog that with a lot of potential. So, hey, I just say 10 more games because I'm going to be saying that they've been out there.
You said Cade Cunningham was a dog after 10 games
That's not
on
true.
our show.
That's not true.
All right, fellas, we're not gonna argue on my first show. Like, we come back and have that again. All right, let's go back and revisit the line. What is their record gonna be?
I'm going to start. I say that the Lions are going to win their first playoff game this year. They'll win the division, win their first playoff game, and have people ready to think that they're going to go to the Super Bowl the following year. I think they've got, if everything goes right, injuries and all that, they're going to have a great season and excite a lot of people in Detroit.
What's your prediction on record?
But I think they'll win 11 games.
Okay. Wardell?
That's what I'm thinking, 11-6.
14-3.
I think they will.
You gotta use the microphone, man. They can't hear you.
I think they will win the North now.
Okay.
North Division.
Hold on. Go ahead, Ed, you next. Are you done, Wardell?
Yeah.
Ed?
Well, you know what? And having played the game myself, you know, I don't want to get my hopes up, you know, because the Lions, the last time they were in the championship game was, what, 56?
57.
Same thing. When you get to that many years. So, you know, I hope for the best, but, you know, don't want to
prepare for the worst.
All right. You got.
All right, let's get rolling. I'm gonna tell you
Well,
my prediction.
I am known as a Lions hater. So I've been known long time Lions hater. They ain't never won since I was 1 year old. That's the last time they won a championship. But I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say 14-3. They will win the first Super Bowl because they got to get one before me and Cal get out of here.
All right,
so I'm saying 14-3 Super Bowl champion.
And I want to predict that Santa Claus will become a part of the LGBTQ.
But you got to believe we got to play on. We got to play on.
All right, wonderful. We getting good feedback from everybody. I hope that the Lions do well. I've been up and down, in and out, round and round with them forever. I didn't go to any games last year. Mark, you went to quite a few games on my behalf, did you not?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all the time. I'm gonna go to some of them this year. But my knee was done. I gotta have another knee done. But I mean, that's for being on my knees praying so much for the Lions, hoping that something different would happen. But you know, I did like the way they played toward the end of the year. They were exciting. If they could have mastered and pulled some of that together sooner, we'd have a different outcome for the whole season. We will listen to Sports on the Mark with Mark Jones and Brother Wardell. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Niger Kai, the 40th anniversary of the African World Festival.
Summer of Soul and the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, Saturday, July 15th.
welcome back, Lodi. Welcome, President Lockett.
Good morning.
All right, what's on your mind, President Lockett?
No, I'm just thrilled with this new opportunity to be on Black Radio and sitting next to beautiful Miss Johnson and the incredible work she's done historically in radio in Detroit. And this is a tremendous opportunity for that. Nothing but God.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Likewise.
We go on to that.
You and me, girl. Go a long way. That's been the theme of the day. Lodi now, we go a long way back.
Yes, but this is a historic moment. And people will get to hear Reverend Sheffield unfettered, gloves off, being able to do what he does, what he has a passion for doing, and what he loves doing, and he does it his way. He informs, but he's also very comedic. He can be a little edgy. I was sitting there shaking a couple of times, but he does a good job, and he's just one of those people that's very much connected to our community, and just for the betterment of people in general. So
Well, I appreciate it. Well, thank you, and I get chided by my producer on a regular basis about stuff I should and shouldn't say.
And your president.
And I've asked him to put a list together of stuff they don't want me to talk about. I think I was pretty safe today, though. I'm talking about these women and these men. Don't lose your mind in your pleasure. Y'all miss that, don't you?
It's gonna be on thread.
Let me tell you something.
It's gonna be on
I
thread.
was 10 years old, and my grandfather had cousins who owned a restaurant on Shane and Ferry called Hattie's and Natty's. You ever been there? Hattie's and Natty's. And we pull up one day, and there's an old man about 80 years old laying on the sidewalk, crying like a baby. And my grandfather reached over and pulled him and said, "Old man, what's wrong?" He said, "Oh, I had this young girl, and she took my car and my money." My grandfather gave him a $20 bill and said, "Old man, next time you lose your mind, next time you lose your money, don't lose your mind." And I never forgot that. My granny said, "Boy, don't ever let it get that good." Y'all ain't talking to me up in here. That you would put your own children at risk and sacrifice the welfare of your family. I joined the Catholic priesthood and take my chances with them. Y'all talk. Y'all go ahead and add something. I'm doing all the talk. I'm trying to get my daughter on. She's supposed to call and congratulate me today.
It's a pleasure and honor to have the connections that we've had through the years. And Horace, you was what I consider the youngin' back in the days we first met. You've grown considerably, and I appreciate and honor the honor I have is being connected with you.
Yeah. Well, as you know, and I say this jokingly, but it's absolutely true. I was number 72 on the football team. He was number 71. He was in the class of 71. We had some unique things happen that year. Ralph Varney was killed in an accident. But that commercial, Mean Joe Green in the tunnel with the little boy drinking, I think it was Coke or Pepsi, and he gives him the jersey. That's the kind of way that I looked up to Ed Collins. Number one, and Ed downplays this, that when we were at Cass, they were known to be beaten up by some of the East Side schools, Kettering, Southeastern. And a lot of times, our classmates wouldn't come to games, especially not basketball games, because they were inside and at those schools.
King, they were terrified to come.
But Ed made it possible for folk to come to games and not have to worry about it. Because Ed was the punisher, he was the enforcer. I'm telling God the truth. And I watched the way Ed hit folk on that field. I think Ed, you agree with me, the toughest game we had that year was we won it 14-8 against King. And it was over at the old Charter Field. Right? You know that game?
Yeah.
Got to be a big fight. Grand Chuck in the
They were fighting in the stands and
on the field. But we was balling, man. We was balling, man. We and King knew that day that it ain't the same gas tech. And Coach Greer was the coach then. We went on to coach at the New England Patriots. But I say all that to say this, and that is that, I always looked up to Ed. And, we're glad we reconnected. And he is always welcome to be a part of anything that we do here. So anyway, what's going on with you, Donnie? Tell us more about the station in general.
Well, we've got a huge campaign going on now. So if you've got a business, a new business, brick and mortar or something online or something like that, we have advertising packages that are great. I mean, we are the community station. And here's the thing, a lot of people don't know. The radio and TV stations that we have in the Detroit, Metro Detroit area, the majority of them, there are no people in the offices anymore. This started with COVID, so everybody's working from home, or satellite, whatever. I used to work for I used to work for JOB and MSC, which is considered iHeart. There's this beautiful building out on Halstead. Nobody's there. There are no salespeople there. There's no programming people there. There's no marketing people there. But if you come to WGPR, located on Jefferson, they have been there for
3146?
Yes.
3146 East Jefferson.
They have been there forever.
Yeah.
There's a fully staffed radio station. There are real people on the air. Now,
let me just take you back, because you had some great DJs. But one of the ones that I like, I go back to KBB when they were on Gratiot and St. Albans, who played the blues. But this is Marvelous Marv, your midday DJ. I love women with perfect hair.
And everybody knows, not just in Detroit, but across the country, Foodie Ron.
Yeah, Cruising with Foodie.
Cruising with Foodie. He was on-air talent, and he was the PD for many, many years at WGPR.
Yeah.
We have Carolyn James, who had to be one of the first Black women PDs, and she's still at WGPR.
Well, WGPR GB62 was the first Black-owned TV station in the United States of America.
And that was helped by Joe Ford. He helped to obtain that.
Yep. And I have something involved with that. It's in my dance archives. But I was blessed to do Speaking of Sports with Bill Humphreys, and it's been a station that's given a lot of people an opportunity. What's the young lady that did some part of Access?
Sean.
Yeah, she had a TV show there. I've got still some tapes from when I was on her show. So, great history. We're really glad to be back on Black. Somebody say back on Black. Say back on Black. Let's go back on Black. I'm on a real Black radio station.
If you really want to know, if people are really, really interested, which is intriguing, to know the history of Black broadcasts and how many people actually came from Detroit, from that station.
Jerry Rocker was over there.
Yeah, the William Banks Museum.
Right.
You will see that it would be interesting for a lot of people to find out or hear that Byron Allen, who is one of the richest African American media moguls, he does not have shareholders. This is not, some companies, they have figureheads with shareholders. Yeah. Shareholders means that you do not totally own, everything that we think you own.
He has a network.
Byron
Allen. He owns quite a bit of stuff.
Byron Allen is from here and he started.
Yeah, I know Byron, and we've actually had several conversations. He, as you know, brought Judge Greg Mathis on his platform, and I've dealt with him in the past in conversations about other stuff. But he is from Detroit. As you know, he got into some legal things suing because of certain folks that were given access to their platforms as supposedly African American enterprises, which happens in Detroit. We have a lot of these Black folks who are fronting for white folks. It's their company name, but the check goes in the bank of somebody who don't look like us. So let's go ahead.
The museum is actually on site, right?
Oh, yes, here's the interesting story. WGPR sits right on the front on Jefferson. The museum is in you go through the parking lot, it's a side entrance. It's fabulous. I mean, it's really, really nice. And the museum originally is where the scene.
Wow.
The scene, yeah.
That's
All right, look, we got to take a quick break. And by the way, I have a photo up at the scene of my dad, Ray Henderson, and Nat Morris, and Billy D. Williams. You don't have that photo?
I think I have seen something with
Yes,
this.
my dad's sitting there with Billy D. Williams and them. Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the history of WGPR 107.5.
The word trails on. It means following behind. But when you get on trail, you're moving ahead. Ahead of your already set by life's dramas ahead of stats.
Me and Tashella, yep, me and Tashella gonna order a whole backdrop stretch.
50 miles of trails waiting to be discovered.
I work for the last act, 291. In college, my co-host David Felton, who is in Mexico, Cancun, and of course Luke Brown, our board operator, Jennifer Hall. I guess we'll give out some love to Quentin Leverett, who stands around, Ivan Edwards, Aaron, Truett, and everybody else. I'm excited about being on this new platform. We took a look. We're going from about 2,000 listeners times 100. I mean, we're on Roku, we're on Comcast 15.2. Is that right? Or 15.1? You got the information there, Stephanie? 15.2?
Yes.
Okay, 15.2 and everything else, 107.5.1. And we're gonna be unveiling some PR, some billboards and a bunch of stuff to get out so that people know where we are. We got a few minutes left. Ed, any final things you want to talk about?
Well, like I said before, you know, it's an honor to be a part of this program. The Dabo Center has done quite a bit for the city of Detroit, and we're looking to do bigger and better things. You know, if you don't know and you need to know about something, feel free to contact the Dabo Center at 313-491-0003. If we don't have an answer, we'll find it for you. 313-491-0003.
And Ed is on our board here, and before I forget, next year we have 45th anniversary, and we're working on a great concert at the Music Hall on Sunday, the 21st. We've already booked Atlantic Star. We were going to bring the stylistics Russell in, but there's a concert that Friday night at the Music Hall with the other group, so that's not going to work. So we're looking at SOS, we're looking at Shaka Khan. We're going to make that a great concert, of course, we're working with the station. Brother Lockett, anything you wanna add?
You just crushed me with that update, because you know we've been talking all.
Well, Russell's my personal friend. He's done about 10 concerts for Dabo, but people don't know the difference between the two, and it just would be a marketing nightmare.
Well, maybe we can, try to do something else between now and then.
Well, we're working on some other groups, working on SOS band, working on, if you got any ideas, and it has to be something that complements, that kind of show.
I just wanted to remark on something that Dodie talked about, that you can actually see and touch someone in GPR for these incubator businesses we have. And we have a lot of people with dreams who are trying to make things happen. And I just think about, dealing with bills. I was in your office, you were dealing with bills one day, Reb, and, it looked like everybody we call is offshore. You get people that you can't, quite frankly, not to be discriminatory, you don't understand what they're saying. And she's talking about remote. We got so many businesses downtown, the buildings that are literally empty. Because people are not coming back to offices. And I think for GPR, this is major, because we have Black businesses that can actually sit down with someone and guide them. They can touch somebody. And that's something very rare today.
Yeah. Well, I get frustrated if I got a customer service issue and I can't understand the word they're saying. You know what I mean? So anyway, but we are local. We're a Black organization. God has blessed us to grow immensely. Multiple properties, about to do some housing. But Ron will tell you, I've been over backwards to deal with Black folks. Now, sometimes bending over is not the best position to be in with someone. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I spent about $15,000 last month trying to correct a problem in the building next door with water. They dug up everything. And here we are, put sub pumps in, and here we are, the water's still coming in. And Black guy, let's wait till the rain. We gotta wait for it to rain. I have somebody go behind the building and take a leak, and I bet you to come up. That's how bad it is. But that doesn't mean now that I'm not gonna deal with no Black plumbers or whatever again. It's just that, I just feel, as you know, Ron, we had this conversation, we can't be a Black organization and not spend money with Black folks. By the way, I looked up who we've been in contact with. It's SOS and People Bryson, who's done 2 concerts for us. I think People Bryson, Atlantic Star might be a good lineup. Yeah. All right, Tony, you up. So wake up, Carl, wake up! we got and Harold Melvin was a friend of mine. His wife has passed in the last couple of years. Knew her well. As you know, we've had Harold Melvin dozens of times do concerts for Dave Oak. We need to cue up his music next week. Wake up, everybody. Time to live a new way. Right? Right. Definitely, you pay attention. Get that Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Trudy Melvin was her name. God bless her soul. Yes. Goldie.
So I think this is going to give us, as I said, you'll be unfettered. You'll be in your element. This will be great. I see that the crowds are probably going to get bigger, because this is a great broadcast. A lot of people don't know that. You're not in the radio station. You have your own facility right here on the site of your own property, and breakfast is served. And it's a whole different environment. It's live, it's interactive, and I think you're the only one that does it.
Well, I'm working on it because I talked to my caterer, and I told her that at least once a month, I want her to get some waffle makers over here. And let's make up some fresh waffles with strawberries and pecans. How that sound?
Man, you get ready, man. You changed my ass.
Yeah, man. I want to fill this place. I want this place to be full. I want it to be a fellowship. I want it to be a place where people get transformative information. Now, one thing you notice about me, if you have not noticed, and I've been very deliberate about this, I don't talk about anybody. A lot of talk radio today, some of these stations, all they do is run folk down and call people out. And, I ain't got time for that. There's enough about me that folk can talk about. So I ain't gonna worry about people and what they're doing, because I got 2 crooked feet on the straight path myself. Hello, somebody. Yeah. All right, Deborah Anderson, what you got to add? We got 1 minute, and nobody wants to close us out.
Okay, yes, I just want to remind everybody that this is a family-friendly place, a place where children can come and be safe. We offer free internet here, sponsored by LipZone and by Connect 313. You can come here. The kids can do their work here. You can come here and do your resumes here. You can come and do Zoom meetings here, right here at Dago, at the corner of Wyoming and Grand River. We want you to feel free to come in. The family is welcome. And I want to congratulate Pastor Sheffield on a great job.
Well, thank you. And by the way, when I go to Cuba, there's only one place in Havana that you can get internet, and you go there and meet hundreds of folks out there on the internet. We're working on what we call a node, which means that even when our buildings are closed and people can park on Grand River, park on Kentucky, pull up on our parking lot, still have access to free internet. So you need to pay your light bill, you come over to the park, whatever it is, you need to get some new matches out of one of them dating apps. It's Friday night, the Eagles flying. Tony, you want to say something before we get out? I know I'm running my mouth, but that's what I do.
Let me just say this. Coming up very soon, it will be time to vote again. We have to tell everybody, how critical it is. It is our right. People die for that right. Don't let somebody else make a decision for you that you're going to regret later. I say that to say that during those election times, you're inundated with ads and preset statements and this and that. But consider this, that this is a platform that people are welcome to come to every Saturday. And you don't just want a political statement, you want frank and candid conversation with those people. And it is the expectation, if they're listening, and if they're not, somebody should tell them that they should make it their business to show up here a few Saturdays way before it's time to vote for them, so that we can have some candid exchange with them about their views.
There's going to be some great transition in the city. I know the mayor's going to run for governor. We're going to have a new mayor. I like to believe, I know who that's going to be. I hope that's who it's going to be. But I want to how good my team is. While we're here talking, Stephanie is posting stuff all over Instagram, having on Threads. This is what she put up on Threads. Don't lose your mind in your pleasure. Never let it get that good. That's in real time. All right, we've been having a great time. We got to end the show. We're so grateful to WGPI, grateful to Dodie. When I was thinking about making the transition, she made it very seamless. I've had to do nothing but show up and be the talent. That's what I want to do. And the rest of my team, Gerald and Stephanie and Luke and Ed and my team here at Damo, we want to thank you. And let's make this better than it's ever been. Remember, never ask anybody to do for you what you're unwilling to do for yourself. See you next week.
It's time. It's time. It's time for the wake-up call, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yo, it's time. He's on the line. This is knowledge and power for every mankind. For every generation that's in these streets. We making sure you ain't walking in your sleep. We're in your town, your city and community. Promoting good health, wealth, and unity. We educating everybody, y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. It's for y'all.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the spirit.
Stephanie, when the computer comes, we got to take this up.
The views and opinions expressed on the previous broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. Hey y'all, summer is coming. We want to remind you of the WVTC. Wash your hands. Stay updated on your vaccinations. If you got a temperature, get a COVID test. And cover your cough. We're on a mission, so don't let COVID stop you. Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. Hey, are you in need of a jingle, a commercial, or have you considered a podcast for your business or ministry? If so, let WVTC Radio Detroit be your choice. And guess what? Location is not a problem. We can pick you up and broadcast you from anywhere. For more information, please go to our website at WVTCDetroit.com or drop us an email at WVTCRadioDetroit@gmail.com. We're waiting to hear from you. Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. We are WVTC Detroit. What it is, we're gospel music, preaching, teaching, inspiration, encouragement, news, and guest interviews. We are what it is. WVTC. We're winning victories. What it is. Through Christ. WVTC Detroit. All up in the community. That's who we are. What it is.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.